this.
Yeah, because fans follow like followers and likes have no value any longer in our society. They have no value.
So if you're up in Nashville and you see the Village Bar, stop and see if Charlie's there. Tell him who you are, and listen to his wisdom, and listen to his stories, and listen to his hopes and dreams, his downfalls and his glories. Da 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 da.
And we're back. Welcome to Villager People. I'm Andrew Perot, and today we're actually featuring another podcast that we are going to introduce to you guys if you haven't already heard about it. But first off, my co-host for today is Jesse High Fashion Nordstrom. How are you, Jesse?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Andrew. I'm happy to be back in the Villager before noon on a Sunday, enjoying a shiner. It's a great way to start the day, you know?
Isn't it? Like,
It
what time is it? Is it 10:30 yet?
It is.
It's,
I think so, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, and so and I really enjoyed the last show we did where we brought Bob on. That was great.
Yeah, I think it was a nice look into the Nashville capsule. I think we'll probably get into some
Exactly.
of that today as well.
Yes.
But Bob, owner of Fido and Bongo, got to walk down memory lane with him and talk about future plans for Fido and everything Hillsborough Village and beyond. So.
So we're actually, so to get in that, as Jesse was getting to, is we're featuring a new venue, or newer venue. How long have you been as the Eighth Room, Hollis?
Oh, it's 4 years.
4 years? Yeah. That's so amazing. That used to be the building that Douglas Corner was in is now the Eighth Room. And today we are featuring the owner, entrepreneur, producer, and host
Multi-hyphenate.
Yes. And the host of the new hit podcast. I guess you call it a podcast?
Yeah, it's a live multicam. It's a live show podcast. Yeah.
We're featuring the show Hooked today.
Yes.
And
Welcome.
Yeah.
unfortunately, I bartend really late on Tuesdays, or I would have already been there.
That's
I would have
fine.
already seen
That's
it.
fine.
And joining him is two of his is his co-host on the show, Patrick. What's your last name, Patrick? I'm sorry.
Patrick Widen.
Widen. All right, Patrick Widen, and Patrick is a constant guest over at the Eighth Room, and also a shared customer of me and Jason's, Mr. Carson Badley, who's been on the show before.
Very good.
I don't know how you allow people like this on the show.
We won't get in. We can. Do you want to get into the snafu, Carson? He's like, no way. We were supposed to shoot this show another time, but we are here, and it is getting done today.
Yeah.
Technical stuff aside. Okay, so
Well, certain people tell me 9:30 at a bar, and I'm thinking, all right, yeah.
that's what I like
sounds
about
good.
Jason. Jason's like, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna fucking say it. The AM or PM was not sent in a text message at some point. So, you thought we were doing a live show, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what's going on. They're like, "Hey, come do this podcast." I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's
Let's
go.
do it. Yes.
Yeah.
So we actually we just dropped the show that we put in that slot, which was we did luck out because we were able to do this show about a customer getting her doctorate, and it was about psychedelics.
Oh.
And she just talked about German history and psychedelics for like an hour.
Did she give you any
Samples?
Oh,
Oh, it's a bunch of peyote.
Jesse beat me to the punchline, but did she give you any inside information on, because like RFK Jr. has been talking about making like psilocybin mushrooms and things like that legal, which I think would be fantastic.
That was a big. I was telling them when she was we were talking about this. It's like that's apparently it was kind of in line with stuff I'd seen on YouTube, people talking about treating PTSD with more psychedelics recently. So how did you guys come up with this concept or this idea?
For Hooked?
Yeah.
It's
how long was that in the incubator?
It's been in the incubator for a while. It really started with I was having sushi at one of my favorite sushi restaurants here in Nashville. And just as I was about to bite into this very lovely spicy tuna hand roll, a songwriter round started up behind me.
Oh, yes.
And it was like a melancholy.
Did you feel like you were back in, like, just like that? Back in Nashville. This is the thing.
Yeah, it was like a melancholy song. It was very slow, and it just kind of killed the vibe of my sushi that night. And I just got to thinking, I started my career here in 95. And, I used to go to the Douglas Corner like 96, 97, 98 and see rounds and different things like that. I think that back then it was a different time. It was a different way of doing things, I guess. And the songwriter round for me, looking at it 20 something years later, it's really just never evolved. Oh, that's an interesting thought. It's and when you think about like where we are today, we're in a 60-second economy with a 6-second attention span. Now, the fun statistic was a month and a half ago, it was an 8-second attention span. So it's reduced, like we're at the attention span of a goldfish right now. So when you go to like a songwriter round or things like that, and you're listening to music that you've never heard before, you don't know the artist, you don't know the song, and you're giving 3.5, 4 minutes, or maybe sometimes 5 minutes of your time hearing the story, etc. It's what's the takeaway, and you have 4 other people sitting on stage. So you're moving from this person to that person to that person. So it's kind of like trimming the fat, right? In a way? It's trimming the fat. And the thing is like, listen, I've been in the music business 30 years, and I've been through, like, this is not an easy business to be in. The bar business is not an easy business to be in. I think just about anything that we do now is not easy. Everything is very hard, So for the music business, it's just like, it's brutal. It's a brutal industry that's not filled with love. It's filled with just absolute madness and backstabbing. And I remember one time I had a gig where like we did a bunch of free gigs, and me and my brother were going to finally get paid. It was a jazz gig, and a saxophone player we brought on the gig went to the booker after the booker offered us money and said, "Well, I'll do a free jam. I'll do a jam session here for free." Like I hired him to do the gig. And that shit happens, like stuff like that happens all the time. Yeah. And so for me, it's just the whole thing is like I just want to have. I'm getting older. I want to have fun. Yeah. At this point in my life, I want to have fun. I want everything that I do to be fun and engaging, and I want it to be a good time. So we really just kind of like I looked at it, and I had an idea, and I brought it to a bunch of my buddies, and I was like, look. I want to turn this kind of into like a, I had this idea of like doing like a gong show type thing. And I was like, well, I don't know, but I was really just kind of, my wheels were turning on how can we do something interesting, fun, and kind of reinvent the Nashville songwriter round. So for me, it was like, okay, let's do songwriter rounds in 60 seconds. Yeah. So how did you get Patrick involved? Where did that come in? Well, he's just an absolute nut job. Oh. Wow. Like, if anybody's ever hung out with Patrick, it's... So you guys we're like buddies hanging out, because that's kind of how sometimes that can happen. Yeah, Patrick and I met. Patrick was like one of the first people to ever to walk into the 8th room, and he walked in and he was like, "Hey, I'm Patrick Widen." Yes. And he stayed until like 3:30 in the morning. I was like, "This guy's a fucking character," But yeah, so you're 60 seconds, and then like... Yeah, it's just 60 seconds. And the thing is like people are like, wow, you're like ruining Nashville. It's like, well, Nashville needs a kind of a kick in the ass sometimes. My dad would also tell people like, go buy a bar. That's what he would tell them, My whole thing with everybody is like, well, if you have an idea, go do it. Yeah. Like that's the hardest thing to do is like to have an idea. There's 2 people. There's people with ideas, and there's people that take their idea and go make it happen. Yeah. So for me, it was just like, I want to have fun. I want to fly through some of these things. I want to get to know them. And can they go in 60 seconds and hook an audience? If you can
that's where the name comes from then.
Yeah. If you can go in as an artist, if you can go in and you can you can have a room singing in under 60 seconds.
That's wow, yeah.
Then like things are going to change.
You know, I asked my dad. My dad used to run the Palace, and I was like, "So what make Garth Brooks played there before he was famous. Randy Travis was his dishwasher. Blah blah blah." And I had asked him, "Well,
blah blah blah."
Well, he said it kind of that's the way my dad would say it probably. Anyway, so he told me one day he was in the car and Garth Brooks popped on the radio, and I was like, "Well, how did?" And I was like, "Did you know that he was going to just blow out like that?" And he was like, "Well, you could kind of tell because when he was on stage, no one fucking wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody in the whole fucking room, and he just was like a superpower."
Yeah. I mean, so like our first episode, we had Aaron Ratier and John Deschus and Eddie Perez. So Eddie Perez is the guitar player for the Mavericks. John Deschus and Aaron Ratier are the two biggest, hottest songwriters in Nashville right now. They wrote 4x4 by You for Lainey Wilson, right? Ella Langley. I mean, it just goes on and on. Their credits are insane. But like when you think of like a song like 4x4 by You, John Deschus walked in. The story is like John Deschus walked in with Aaron Ratier, Lainey Wilson. They did a writing session. They had like 15 minutes left in their writing session, and everybody's like, "Well, anybody else have any ideas?" And John pulls out a list, and he's like, "Well, I've been sitting on this song title for a while. It's called 4x4 by You," and Lainey picks up a guitar and she just starts singing the hook. And they wrote that song within that 15-minute window. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you never know. But you can go in and you could, like, on a show like Hooked, right? You could go in and you could sing 4x4 by You, and you could be out in 30 seconds, and everybody in the room's going to know that hook.
They never. Well, I would tell people like that's where people get that infinite fame is when they have that one song at least.
Yeah.
Where I mean, I don't know about 100 years, but like 50 years that no one ever, like most people that have heard it never forget that hook.
Well, and like one of the great pieces of like takeaway material from our episode 1 was John Deschus and Aaron Ratier both saying, it's not about the great songs that you write. If you can't write a good song, write a bad song. If you can write if you can't write a bad song, write a really terrible song. Just write a song.
Just do it. Yeah.
Because it's like, like those guys are their philosophy is you need to be at like 2,000 songs, before you start getting like really good and understanding your craft. It's that 10,000 hour theory that I think to be great, that's what you have to do. So their whole thing is like, it doesn't matter if you're writing good, if you're writing great, if you're writing bad, if you're writing terrible. As long as you're writing, then you're honing in on your craft. Eventually you're going to get to something. You're going to stumble onto something, a song title or whatever, and magic is going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just the consistency, it's the reps that you put in. So for like a show like Hooked, my thing is like, it's really like it's a testing ground, it's a proving ground, and it's like a battleground of, come on, let's see what you got, and you're under a timer, and here it is.
Mm-hmm. Try to write a song every morning.
Every morning, every single day?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
That's it. That's what it takes.
That's the best advice. We had John Deschus and Aaron Ratier on here, and they said, if you can't write a good song, write a bad song.
First line again?
The bank might take the trailer. My girlfriend the neighbor.
My girl.
I love that.
He had me sold right there.
And it, eventually, I think that we're gonna end up getting people going like, okay, I see what they're doing. I'm coming in and I'm gonna give you my 4x4 by You hook.
Well, Jesse, do you want to set them up?
Oh, are we gonna do a little
Let's do
sample
it.
of it right
Yeah.
now? Let's do a sample of it.
I think we're gonna actually. I think we're actually gonna play Hooked.
Yeah, let's do it. We got a treat for you guys
live.
For the very first time.
For the very first time outside of the 8th.
We had to rig up a little intricacies to get this to happen.
I'll take over the hosting position just for now. I mean, think of this as a tryout for maybe hosting a Hooked in the future. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Jesse's really great.
Yeah.
Jesse's great.
Nice.
Good luck wrestling me out of my position.
All right, I think if we're good here. Yeah. Are we?
You want to do the rules?
I think. Ian, are you ready, buddy? Yeah. All right. First of all, I just met Ian. I have no idea what he sounds like.
He goes by Loose Bolts.
Loose Bolts.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Well, terrible name, but we'll we'll talk about that later. All right.
Yeah, so coming to you live from the Villager Tavern. It is 10:43 in the morning on a Sunday, and we are going to have an edition of Hooked, brought to you by Surfside.
Could be
in the future. 2 grams of sugar, 100 calories, no bubbles, no troubles, and we can throw it off as soon as we start the timer. Ian, it's up to you.
I will. Ian, here's the rules, right? You got 60 seconds on the clock. When the bell rings, it's gonna go. When the bell rings, time's over, and then you're gonna face our panel of absolute drunken assassins here at the Village Tavern. And whenever you're ready, buddy, the clock is gonna start. Step up to the mic and let's go. All right. I mean, technically, you should have tuned up before we started this, but that's fine.
We'll let you
We'll slide.
All right.
All right, hang on. We're resetting the clock and
Stop busting my balls now.
ladies and gentlemen, Ian.
The song's called "I Hope You Have a Terrible Christmas Day."
Well, I told you that I loved you. I couldn't believe it, but now I'm coming to grips that you knew it, and you still put me through it. Oh, and you won't say you're sorry, not even a little bit. Hey, I hope you have a terrible Christmas day. Hey, I hope the weather gets in the way of everything. Hey, I hope you have a terrible Christmas day. And you only have yourself to blame.
Bell didn't go off. Bell didn't ring. Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would say, you should have started with that hook, right? Because we didn't get to hear the payoff.
Right.
And that's the thing, man. It's like 60 seconds go so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where are you coming in? Where are you going out? And I tell people like every week, it's like, we don't need an intro.
Yeah.
You know, I need in a 4x4 by you. You know,
Yeah.
like right in, man.
Straight in.
But like the terrible Christmas day, man. Yeah, I would. I've wished so many terrible Christmas days on so many people.
It's a rare concept to hear someone sing like that.
It's my mom's favorite song of mine.
Hey, can we just do this really quick? This is like outside of our rules, but can you? I need to hear the payoff. Can you play the hook for me?
Yeah, go for it, Ian.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the verse. I just want to hear the hook.
Yeah, so
Hey, I hope you have a terrible Christmas day. Hey, I hope the weather gets in the way of everything. Hey, I hope you have a terrible Christmas day. And you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah, see, I would have started right there.
Yeah, that descending
killer
line you
voice.
do is just really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have played that one at the Bluebird.
Cutting at the end.
That's what a lot of people probably said in this town.
Yeah.
I should have played that one at the Bluebird.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my mom's favorite song of mine. So,
Should we hear one more from Ian?
It's up to you guys.
He's
I'm
got
all
one
about
more.
it.
All right, let's
Yeah.
we're gonna do this again. We're gonna put you under
Okay.
pressure. We're gonna try it again
okay, you want to play a different one?
with your next song.
Okay.
And now think about what you just did, because you have 60 seconds and you got to woo us. Otherwise, we're gonna absolutely bust your balls.
I thought 60 seconds would have been enough for like a little bit of context and a hook, but you know what I mean.
It goes fast,
Yeah,
man.
we want the load. Just put it in.
It's the money shot. All right, Ian, ready? Here we go.
Hold on.
Oh, tune your shit, man. Let's go.
That's a really common a thing I see in open mics more than often.
Okay, this one's called Young Women.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hooked. This is Ian. You got 60 seconds. You ready?
Yes,
Here we
sir.
go.
Young women, when your pheromones are changing me, you can close your eyes, but it's plain to see. Young women.
All right, Ian, with
Feeling good about that
16
hook.
seconds left on the
16
clock.
seconds
Pretty good.
left on the clock. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Ian, where are you from, buddy?
I moved here from Northwest Florida, but I'm from Baton Rouge originally.
Oh, no shit.
Very nice.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana myself.
No,
Very
you're
nice.
not.
Yeah, man. Where'd you go to high
Crazy.
school? Where'd you go to school?
Oh, no. I was born there. I moved away from there when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7. And then kind of had some formative like musical experiences there when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man, is like for me, it was a great place to grow up. My parents owned a chain of music stores throughout the South when I was growing up, and I got to be around like all the musicians, kind of like through middle school and high school, and just an absolute unbelievable place for musicians.
it's a crazy place.
It's crazy. It's like it's really next level. You know, like listen, when you go in back in the early '90s, or mid '90s here in Nashville, people you go to a gas station and somebody would come out and they pump your gas for you, and you knew that the guy pumping your gas was better than you would ever be on whatever instrument.
Yeah.
Right.
He's, you know, like absolutely better. So Nashville is a town that has phenomenal, like probably the best of the best musicians, right?
Yeah.
Baton
Specifically
Rouge,
musicians.
Baton Rouge and New Orleans has this vibe of like just local musicianship that's just insane. You know, it's like these guys they that's their job. You know, that's what they do every night. They entertain, and it's just next level. And the people that come through there are insane. So I didn't know you're from Baton Rouge or you were born there. Or so what? How long have you been writing songs?
I think I wrote my first song when I was like 9 or 10. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow. So
And-
do you remember what that was about?
it was inspired by an episode of Even Stevens.
Nice.
The episode where they're like they get the band together and they play on stage like the Beatles and all that.
Do you remember?
that's cool.
Do you remember that song?
It was called Sonic Boom.
Did you name drop beans in the song?
No, I didn't. I wasn't referencing the show, but like, no, I don't remember how it goes. I do remember that like the payoff was like Sonic Boom or something like that. Yeah.
right. Writing stingers.
Yeah.
Writing stingers at 9 or 10. It's great.
Inspiration comes from everywhere.
Yeah. What's
Disney Channel.
What's the end goal? Wait, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life, Ian?
I want to tour. I want to make records. And
So what are you doing?
own a studio.
What are you doing right now to make that happen?
Planning some more releases this year. Just played my first gig in Knoxville, which that exceeded my expectations in every way. So
You kissed me on your bedroom floor.
just kind of getting back on the horse of spreading my wings.
So
putting
like
out more
the
records.
music business, 2026 is completely changed. We're in the greatest time in history, in my opinion, to be an artist.
Sure.
There's everything that you possibly need is at your fingertips. You can do anything that you want. There's no rules any longer. Like the gatekeepers, they're gone. You don't need anybody any longer, right?
Yeah.
So like there's an artist that I absolutely love that I've been championing for a while. Her name is Kells.
Don't heal my line, don't spill my wine. You left your things, come get your ties. Come get your ties.
Kells she is changing the game right now. Kells will be like one of the biggest artists in the world. Everybody's going to know who she is. I predicted 18 months, 3 months ago, and I think that I'm still on course that everybody's going to know her name in 18 months. But
Nice.
what she's done, talking about touring and things like that, is being an artist. You don't need venues any longer either. You don't need anything. What you need is creativity and the balls to go do something different, right?
Yeah.
So like Kells, for example, she didn't book venues. She went on Peerspace, and she was booking diners after hours. She was booking hair salons. She was booking all these different things, right?
Yeah, is this the lady that wears like the hair bands and
Yeah.
like handkerchiefs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I've seen a lot of it. You post about her stuff. Yeah.
So she, like, one of her first shows that she did, I think in Chicago, she had 35 people at a hair salon. The next time she went to Chicago, she had 250 people
Holy
packed
cow.
in, right?
That's incredible.
You don't need anything anymore. What you need is creativity and the absolute willpower and drive and motivation to go out there and make yourself into an artist, right?
I agree.
It has to become a job.
Yeah.
Like, unless you want to be, working across the street at Pancake Pantry or something like that, or be an IT guy for AT&T or something like that. You have to make this your only job, right? It has to be an obsession, and you have to become a madman with it. So like just taking Kells, for example, using Peerspace and using these different alternative.
What is Peerspace for the people?
So it's like where you can go in and like, so like if your business from 9 a.m. until 3:30 or 4 when you open is dead space. Nothing is happening in here.
Yeah.
You can book somebody to come in.
like
and,
what we're doing right now, basically.
correct. Yeah, you can do something, right? So Kells
Good
took
work.
that
We're already doing
We're
it.
already Peerspace.
on your dime.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But so Kells took that and she ran with it. So her first tour across the United States was 35 cities in the U.S. using Peerspace and using a mailing list that she had built, right? Her ticket prices were pay whatever you can pay. If you want to come see me play and you have $1 and you're a fan of mine, pay $1. Whatever, right? So
It's very like bohemian artist type of
100%,
thing.
man.
Bootstrap.
100%. But what that does is that makes a fan become a super fan really fast.
Yeah.
And incentivize.
You win them over in the market. Yeah.
100%.
It incentivizes more people to come to your show, basically.
Well, yeah, it's just like so Kells did the 8th Room a month ago or 2 months ago, something, right? Zero marketing.
And everybody give it up for Loose Bolts, guys. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Great job.
Oh, wait. Keep going, Hollis.
Yeah, I'm still giving you advice. For fuck's sake. This is like valuable shit I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh, he's coming. He's getting coffee.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I just don't believe you. But that's fine. Anyway, if you make it an obsession, and you just think that there's no rules any longer. I don't have to go and I don't have to work on a booking agency. I don't have to like email venues. I'm gonna go find my own place to play. So Kells did the 8th Room, and
I saw the
Zero
stuff for that, yeah.
marketing. We didn't even release that she was playing.
Really?
right?
It was a surprise show?
She sold 150 tickets.
Oh my God.
She did it through her fan base, and she did the ticket prices were pay whatever you want to pay. Right?
How did she set up? Where do they buy the tickets from her?
Through her.
Like where do they? But where does she set that up?
It's
at?
What was the platform?
It's
Is there
Stripe?
Stripe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So her average ticket price at the 8th Room was $75.
Wow.
She did $10,000 that night, right? And then she did like $2,000 in merch, but at the merch table, I think she walked away with like five grand because she had a QR code up there with her Venmo, and people were like, "I paid $30 for my ticket." And I don't feel like I gave her
And she
enough
owns
money.
all of her shit.
Everything.
Yeah.
So she
Wow.
That's the whole thing. That's how it is now.
So Kels just did a deal with Republic Records, and she did a distribution deal. Marketing distribution deal. Kels owns everything. This girl is setting herself up for so much success. So what I'm saying, Ian, is there's no rules any longer, right? If you want to do this, it's about how creative can you be and how driven are you to go out and cultivate a fan base. The second piece of advice I would give you would be only use social media to drive people back to one single location that you own. So a website, right? Build your website because the thing is when you put all your stuff up on Instagram and TikTok and all these different places, they own your content.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so true.
Oh yeah.
If that thing goes down, how do you get in touch with your fan base?
Right.
They say like an email list is like digital real estate.
Yeah, because everybody has an email. Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, email, SMS. So there needs to be a way that you're capturing all of that data that you own. So the main thing is like to use social media to drive it back to your platform. And then the last thing that I would say is, and I'm busting your balls a lot, right? But I'm giving you golden information right now, right?
Yeah.
You should probably write me a check after this. But the last thing is subs, right? So if you think like if you have how many Instagram followers do you have right now?
Like 1980 something.
Okay, and that's all for your artist page, or is that like a personal page?
I don't have a personal Instagram.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So if you think of like 1,900, let's just take 1,000 people, right? Let's take 1,000 people. If you had 1,000 people subbing, right, paying you $10 a month, right? That's $120,000 a year, right there. Now you have an independent business. Okay. $10 a month. What could you give those people? You could give them exclusive content. You could give them a phone call.
Feet pics.
Listen,
It's the day and age we're in.
it's it's your art. You can do whatever you want. But what I'm getting at is like you have to start thinking about this thing as a business because nobody's going to create a business for you.
That's very
true. A record label's not going to come in and they're not going to. A record label now, you know what they buy? They buy traction. That's what they buy. So you have to go out and you have to create traction, and then you have to create ownership, right? So if you can start with subs and start thinking about like every person that comes and they sign up or they start following me on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, right? How do I get those people from that platform to my platform? And then how do I get them bought in on what it is that I'm doing music-wise to have them pay me some money and support what I'm doing? It could be $3, it could be $5, it could be $10, right? You could have platform, or you could have multiple tiers of subs. But what you have to think about in 2026 is how am I building a business, and how am I taking my art and how am I monetizing that? Because at the end of the day, there's too many artists out there that are broke and have 50,000 followers or 3 million streams or 10 million streams, right? 10 million streams, you make no money. There's no money. You have no money. How do you take what you're doing and turn that into an actual business which allows you to continue making art?
So you think the best way to start that is like subbing onto your personal website?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's awesome.
You have to give people value, you know, and it could be like you could do things. So if you think about Cameo, you know that platform.
Yes.
Okay, so if you just think of that idea alone,
I love that platform. Is freaking amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
It is.
But if you think about that platform alone, and you just kind of reverse engineer that at $10 a month, you could sit there. You can make 1,000 FaceTime videos a month and give somebody 3 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
You could do a 2-minute jingle, you know, record it on a voice note that you send to somebody. There's a million ways creatively that you can give somebody something to keep them locked in. That means when you go to Philadelphia or you go to Nebraska or you go somewhere, you go anywhere, 150-mile radius outside of Nashville, where you are, you start going to these places. It doesn't matter if there's 5 people that show up, because if you go there and you give 5 people everything that they want and you give them your time, those 5 people are going to tell 5 people, and the next time you go back, you're going to have 35 people.
Yeah. It's kind of like in the hospitality business, you know, it's like if someone comes in, I remember one time, to be anecdotal, this lady came in and she said, I made fun of some beer, and she's like, oh, that's my favorite beer. And I had a sign up on the wall. And at the very end of she was about to leave, she was tabbing out, and I took the sign down and I gave it to her.
Yeah.
She never came. I'm not going to say it works all the time. She didn't. I don't think I remember serving her again because whatever the situation. But I knew that would create a memory.
Yeah.
And she'd never forget.
Yeah.
And so if you can connect with those customers that are, you know, through your subscription base in any type of way, that's gold.
I mean,
And the main thing is longevity, right?
Yeah.
If you want to turn this into a career, you want to be an artist, you have to start thinking unfortunately, as a business person. And you know, it's not,
Unfortunately, it says unfortunately.
well, it's really not. It's really not unfortunately, because you can look back in history, like Billy Joel. Just take Billy Joel for example. Billy Joel.
My dad loves Billy Joel like nonstop in the car.
Billy Joel, you know, like his brother-in-law was his business manager for I don't know.
He screwed him.
Let's just say 10 years, whatever,
Yeah.
15 years. Yeah. Took all of his money, stole it.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was his first wife, right?
Yeah.
No.
And then it happened again to him 2 times.
Unreal.
So, you know, Mick Jagger is probably my favorite artist,
businessman.
favorite artist in the world when it comes to business.
That's interesting.
Because Mick Jagger is Mick Jagger.
Mm-hmm.
He's in probably the greatest rock and roll band of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But Mick Jagger, he runs through every piece of merchandise. His hands are on everything. And we're talking about, like, after a show, how many T-shirts of this did they sell? Was it extra large? Was it large? Was it medium? What's the number 1 seller? He goes through everything. He wants to know everything.
the numbers.
He has no barrier between him and those sales.
Well, the thing is like the art of being an artist is how do you stay being an artist?
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would not have pinned Mick Jagger as like a fucking.
Mick Jagger is a
like
proficient business person.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I
I guess
mean,
that explains like the
You
5
can tell
parts
by the
factories,
way he
right?
moves those hips.
Yeah.
He's He is like, this is a business boy.
Jagger wants to know how much fuel they're burning between flights. Like his hands are on everything. And
Is he he's over top of all of it more than the other guys?
Yeah.
100%.
Over Keith and Ronnie and all
Since
that.
the beginning, yeah.
yeah. Since
I
since
believe
the
that.
beginning.
Yeah.
He's a smooth operator.
I'm really not a huge Stones fan, but that's cool.
Yeah. Well, can you add Ian to the who's fired? Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely more of a Beatles guy, if I'm being honest. And it took me a long time to get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about like probably 2 of the greatest bands
Indisputably.
in history that can never be
Replicated, yeah.
or beaten.
I love how I've been turned into a marker man on my show.
We can only have glimpses. There's only what we have now is like glimpses of their essence in other people. You know.
Yeah. Well, and I think that if more people would really take into consideration the value of wanting to be a rock star and what that looks like. Somebody was talking about Godsmack earlier. Like Sully Erna. Sully is a proficient businessman. I mean, his hands are on everything that Godsmack does. Everything. Do
you feel like every band has that person?
No, I don't, because I think you'd have a lot more successful bands. I think that.
Oh, that's true.
Can you give an example of someone that would be not business minded, like
what's
in a band
that kind of faltered because of that?
Probably one of the greatest youngest bands in history to really make waves. Silverchair, Daniel Johns. Phenomenal artist, terrible business person.
Yeah.
Just terrible. But not everybody can do that. It's just not in everybody's veins.
Yeah.
But in 2026, you don't have a choice.
Right.
There's no choice because there's no more like
things ain't getting cheaper right now.
You got to be a little savvy.
Yeah.
Well, the days of James Taylor being able to sit in his apartment or Jackson Brown being able to sit in his apartment all day and just write songs, that level of artistry is just, it doesn't exist because you don't have the infrastructure any longer with the labels and artist development and people to come in like guys like me that could come in and go like, okay, here's where you are, here's what we need to go do, right? Here's our plan. Managers and people like that nowadays aren't gonna, they're not gonna waste their time on you if you're not generating income. Because that's how they get paid.
Yeah, because
they need something to manage, which means money, basically.
Yeah,
you don't need a manager if you don't have money coming in.
You can also you can manage traction.
Yeah, it's views, right? Views are the thing. Is that
but I'm saying
if you can monetize that. If you can monetize, what you can manage is traction. You can put a plan in place of being able to.
How would you define traction to people exactly?
Meaning, if your online presence is just, if you're a madman, and you are out there like a Kells.
Like traction would be like how many people, like exponential growth.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exponential growth.
Yeah, and how you convert that.
Because that means you're doing something extremely right.
Correct. Yeah. So like I was watching this podcast and I'll just keep referencing Kells, right? Because I think she's a phenomenal person to reference as an up and coming artist. I think she's an influence. I think she's a role model.
Great business person too.
100%. Yeah. And you look at somebody like her, and she did a podcast that I was watching the other night, and she's talking about her posting strategy. Mm-hmm. And she took the song "Gone," which is the one that I posted that everybody saw, right? Mm-hmm. She took that hook and she ran that hook. She posted that 500 times in 1 year. And 500 times in 1 year. So she was posting that hook three times a day on Instagram, then 3 trial reels a day, and then 3 stories a day on top of her posts. And she did that every day for a year, right? You have to be absolutely batshit crazy to have that kind of discipline and go do it. But what that's led to for her is a great partnership with a massive record label who is fully behind her.
Wow. So when did that happen?
2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Wow. So she went from being completely independent and all of a sudden was like, wow, you're doing this on your own.
Yeah. Well, and her deal was she did a distribution deal.
Yeah.
Kells owns everything.
They're just putting it out there. They're just getting it. They're just, can we be a part of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Please, pretty please.
Right.
Yeah.
Because labels don't buy artists anymore. They buy traction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So beyond the show, when you're working with these artists, like what does that look like when you find somebody that you think you want to step in, you want to give some guidance, you want to help somebody? And second part of that question, are you more likely to work with an artist that showcases you like business acumen right off the front, or just like musical prowess and can control a room?
For me, it's it's kind of like a. It's more or less a gut thing for me. If I see something and my gut is just like, I know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And I just for example, I saw an artist one time. I was in Colorado. I saw an artist, and I'd been thinking like, this was like early 2000s. So it was like 2003, 2003. And in my head, I was sitting there going like, wow, man, like there's a big hole in the market right now for like a Matchbox 20.
Mm-hmm. They came on the other night in the bar and people blew it up.
Yeah.
They love that shit still.
Yourself or Someone Like You is one of the greatest records of the mid-90s, if you ask me.
Yeah, so like, you look at things like that and you go like, where's the hole in the market? So for me, like in the early 2000s, I was sitting there going like, like Coldplay was blowing up. Yellow. I was such a huge
I never
fan
knew
of
that Coldplay, were they the highest grossing stadium tour band or something? It was something crazy. Like apparently they made more money than like any touring act at some point.
I mean, they're a machine.
Yeah.
They're like right behind Taylor Swift there. I think.
Chris Martin he's
And
great.
the Eagles.
But like for me, it was like I kind of like look at markets and go like, what don't we have? In 2003 or 2000, in early 2000s, I was sitting there going like, we don't have an American version of Coldplay. AAA, Hot AC, those markets and those lanes I really understand well in radio, and just so happens that I walked into a coffee house and I met Isaac Slade from the Fray. And for me, that was like America's version of Coldplay. It kind of fit a model. And I think what you have to do is, for me, is when I'm looking at things, is like, what's the lane?
How do I get the most traction? Where's the lane that most traction comes?
Yeah. And also like, I always, I'm still a radio guy. Here's the thing about radio. Everybody that's not on the radio says radio doesn't matter. Everybody that's on the radio,
I probably have said that too, but what do I know about pop music?
Everybody, well, not even pop. It's everybody that's on the radio knows that radio matters.
To get those radio checks.
That's great.
Yeah. So like, but radio has formats. They have lanes, and you have to understand what lane you're in. You're in R&B. You're in hip hop. You're in AAA, which is adult contemporary. You're in Hot AC, which is a mix between country, pop, rock. Everything kind of bleeds into Hot AC. You got to figure out where your entry point is, and you have to kind of surround yourself with what those artists.
I want to get into something since we're in Nashville that I noticed. The Pink Spiders. Can you get into how because you're talking about all these things of the lanes and stuff. Can you think about how your mind was kind of dealing with them? Because I was watching podcasts to think about what we would talk, what I would do, questions and stuff like that, and that came up. And I don't know anything about the punk scene or anything like that, but even I had heard about the Pink Spiders, and I even knew a valet, or it was a parking lot valet who used to be the drummer, like Bob. Yes. Oh my gosh. Here we go.
Bob Fort.
Is Jamie in that band too?
Bob Ferrari. Jamie's in the band now. Yeah. Okay. So the original band was Bob Ferrari, Matt Bell or Matt Friction, and John Deschus, who John was just on my my show
4x4
He wrote 4x4 by You.
Yeah. Full circle.
Full circle.
Do I still need to stand here?
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. You done busted my balls? No, I'm just I'm just fucking with you.
Give it up for loose bolts, guys. Come on.
Yeah, man. Good job.
And give it up for Hollis, man. That was amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for participating.
You can see
entertaining
can see more of that at the 8th Room on Tuesday nights.
Tuesday
right?
nights, yeah, every Tuesday.
Yeah, at the Hook Sessions, which is a phenomenal event that just started happening.
Oh, it's batshit crazy. I'll tell you that much.
How do they see it online?
Everything's it'll start coming out on Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. And what's the platform? Is there an independent? I bet it's an independent platform.
Yeah,
Yes, I knew it.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
like, Andrew, have you been listening to me?
Yeah, we're going to use social media to drive everybody back to.
That's it. This is a masterclass. We got to change, guys. We're going to be off YouTube.
No, no. It's like use all of that because that's marketing. You know,
trust me.
It's
I get it,
absolutely
yeah.
it's free marketing, and the internet is great.
But websites are still important to you as far as like creating a sustainable business.
Yeah, because fans follow like followers and likes have no value any longer in our society. They have no value.
Because they can be fake anyway.
Yeah, it does not mean anything.
Yeah, so I think shares, I heard, is the only thing that's really...
Shares, comments, it's interaction.
Comments, man. Comments are very cultural.
Getting people to like, get people to fucking hate you.
People don't show up to work over comments, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, comments are important. So, because we're in Nashville, the Pink Spiders, I know, like I said, I didn't know about the Pink Spiders until I met this parking lot attendant named Bob.
Yeah.
And so, how did you get acquainted with the Spiders? Like, what can you get into, like, what your role was with them?
Yeah, so I don't know the years, but
doesn't matter.
Matt Friction, who's been a long-time friend of mine. I met Matt when he was 17, and he had a band called Silent Friction. And I went and saw this band.
It's a great name.
Somewhere down on Church Street in the mid '90s.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's a little rock club down there. Nashville had no rock scene at all.
Yeah, it was like very like do-it-yourself places.
Yeah. And I walked in.
Did you ever go to the Muse?
Yes.
Yeah.
I walked in. I saw this band, and immediately my gut was like, I know what to do. I was like, this is a cross between the Clash and the Cars.
Nice.
And I was like, we don't have this right now. And so I started working with Matt and kind of helping him develop Silent Friction. I worked on recordings and trying to get a deal with all of that, and that project inevitably kind of fell apart, but it became the Pink Spiders. And,
okay, I didn't know that.
And so like when the Spiders really came out, I always followed everything that Matt did, and when they came out, I was just looking at it going like, they have got like this Clash meets the Cars thing dialed in.
And why did they drop the other name?
I think it was just a personnel change.
Yeah, and the guys wanted to change the name.
Rebrand it, kind of do this whole thing. And Matt Friction, Matt Bell, just unbelievable songwriter, but he's one of these guys that he understands branding and marketing really well. And he also understands how to cultivate a fan base. Smart guy. And so the Spiders started kind of, they were out there booking 250 shows a year on their own, and they built what I like to call is like radius circles. So they used Nashville and they started building 100-mile radius circles all the way up to New York and then down a bit. So they used Nashville as their launching space, and they basically created.
I mean, that's why a lot of people have moved here because the geographical
100%.
location.
A lot of tours start here. Yeah, they don't play here, but a lot of start here, end here.
Yeah,
but he they were doing 250 shows a year, and A&R started kind of sending him letters, and Matt was sending me these letters, and I was like, okay, I think it's time to bring you guys out to Los Angeles, and let's do a show showcase at the Viper Room, and let's just cause as much kind of craziness as we can.
And what makes the Viper Room the place? Because I've heard you talk about this on podcasts.
Could you have like the whiskey and all that? And so what makes the Viper Room?
I think it's just the fact that it was a place and time where magic happened in a short amount of time. It was just like
in 60 seconds, if you will.
Rocket fuel.
Yeah,
it was crazy. I was there. I was at the Viper Room opening night.
Yeah.
It was like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers were playing. Everybody was there. Michael Jackson came in with
Johnny said Johnny Depp owned it. Was that the case?
Yeah, Johnny Depp owned it. I became buddies with him when I was like 17.
That's crazy. I've seen like you on the pod talking.
Yeah, and
he
let me he was like a big brother, really. Mm-hmm. And like I saw everything. I saw them from the time they painted the building to like decor designs to opening night.
Wow.
I was there every night for the first 2 years, up until like River Phoenix died, and then I was like, oh, maybe it's time to leave, you know.
Yeah.
But
a culling, if you will.
yeah.
So so you brought them to the Viper Room.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what happened after that?
Well, it was interesting because the way that I played the Pink Spiders was I'd just done a deal, and I had some entry points into the music industry, meaning I had connections.
Mm-hmm.
Now they weren't big connections, you know. I had connections with like
Because you had been gone from LA at this point, right? When you were doing with the because
That
you
was-
lived in LA and then you were bringing something from Nashville to LA.
yeah. So it's the way that I hopped around was I left Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the day after I graduated high school. I moved to Los Angeles, worked in LA. I left Los Angeles like 2 weeks after River Phoenix died,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came to Nashville. I came to Nashville in '95.
Mm-hmm.
I worked here until 2001, and then I moved to Los Angeles, back to Los Angeles. So I kind of came back to Nashville, cut my teeth here, worked for MCA Decca.
Yeah, I heard about my favorite thing I heard online was the homeless guys with the T-shirts.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
You were very proud of that, weren't you?
I had a lot of shit about that, but who cares?
Well, I
People
mean,
are sensitive.
well, you said who was the person that you impressed about that? You impressed
Tony Brown.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's how that kind of your A&R stuff like started, right?
Skipped me from the mailroom and brought me right to A&R.
How
Nice.
about that?
Yeah.
So they go to the Viper Room, and the Pink Spiders are at the Viper Room.
Yeah.
And so what happens now?
Well, the setup was one of my good friends, Rachel Ryan. She was Paulie Anthony's assistant, and Paulie Anthony was the co-president of Geffen Records. And so Rachel's a good friend of mine, and I told her about the band. I was like, "Here's what's happening," and she was like, "We need to form a plan." And I was like, "Okay, what's the plan?"
Yeah, please.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm gonna start telling all the assistants of all the presidents of every major label, this is what's happening. And so she started doing that, and then you could just see within days, it like the buzz was creating, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It was like getting more exciting. And we brought the band out, and we did the Viper Room, and the stage was literally Jordan Schur, the president of Geffen Records, literally before the curtain closed, he rushed the stage, and he was like, "I've got to have you guys. You got to be."
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, and then after that, it was like everybody wanted them. It was 3 major labels, so it was 4 at the time, right? So it was a bidding war.
Yeah.
It was Sony, it was Geffen, it was Warner Brothers, and it was Virgin. And so now we're in a bidding war. And then what happened is like, then you're going and you're visiting all the companies, you're meeting all the people, they're throwing you parties, they're wooing you, they're bringing you. One of our things was because, you know, like this is something that like, you know, I've studied like artist development guys for my whole career. I've just studied the greats, you know. Yeah. A bi-coastal bidding war is something.
No, because we're doing this, and we're running out of time, which I'm gonna let this one go as long as I can. Who are the greats for the people?
Andrew Lou Goldham, 17, discovered the Rolling Stones. He was their manager. He was their producer. He's the guy that said he was a marketing genius. Right? He's the guy that was like, oh, well, if the Beatles are this clean-cut band with these nice haircuts that all the mothers would love their daughters to date, I'm going to create the antithesis. I'm going to create the guys that have the long hair, that dress sloppy, that all the moms are like, we don't want you around our daughters.
Was that
right?
the Stones?
It was the Stones.
That was the Stones.
Yeah.
Nice.
And a savage businessman, Miss Jack. Do you think that he saw that in Mick? Yeah. Like, you're going to make my job easy. Of course I want to work with you.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew Lou Goldham was the guy that locked, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger in a closet. It was like, you can't come out until you write a song.
He's ruthless.
Yeah.
Actually happened.
So this is like a 17-year-old kid, you know?
Yeah.
So I've studied these guys in.
Now, who's another one?
Ahmet Artigan.
Okay, go ahead. What was he like?
I mean, like
He had
Aretha
everybody,
Franklin,
yeah.
Ray Charles. It's
Yeah.
like he was obsessed with like black jump music, and he's the guy that made that into what we would call pop R&B.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like Shep Gordon too, Superman Shep, like
Yeah,
that.
great manager.
He was just a weed dealer that moved to L.A. that all of a sudden has been Alice Cooper's manager for his
Oh, wow.
entire career.
Not only that, but he's the guy that made chefs famous.
Yeah.
He like Gordon
Emerald.
Ramsay and Emerald. Yeah.
Emerald was his first one. Yeah. Bam.
Yeah, I mean he brought those guys to the forefront.
Yeah.
So it's just it's artist development, it's character development.
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
So you're in a bidding war with the Spiders.
Correct. Yeah. And
Yes.
so like I'd known about all of these crazy stories for forever, and I was like, I told the boys, I was like, guys, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I was like, we're gonna milk this for everything. So one of the things like Geffen did for us was, what do you guys want to do? Well, we want to go to Magic Mountain, and we want the park closed down. We want to go in there, and we don't want anybody there. And so what they did is we went to Magic Mountain, and it was an hour. We had 2 hours with nobody in the park. We went there an hour early, and then they held the line for an hour. So we had, it's just we did crazy shit,
Yeah.
What do you want? Name the price.
Yeah, and
The 50,000 blue M&Ms. That's right.
right. We took a private jet to New York. We got there as a red eye. We got there in the middle of the night or early morning. And we didn't have clothes because we were coming from Los Angeles. We didn't have winter wear. It was January. We went to New York. They opened Macy's.
Oh, wow.
We went into Macy's. Everybody got clothes and coats, and then we ended up in Virgin, and then flying back.
You really meant to milk. I mean, that's really that's so impressive.
and we did the same thing with the money.
Yeah.
We got it was a massive record deal, but that was just it was strategy, and it was knowing history really well of what we could do and couldn't do, and what the risks that we were willing to take, and then also what did the band want? Did we want to go for all the money, or did we want to go for a deal that we could control? And inevitably the band wanted to go for all the money.
And you feel like that was, how did you feel about that?
Listen, I was fine.
Yeah, because that was your job, was to get some money, right?
You never know how it's going to work out. You never know. But yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I mean, like getting the assistants on board seems like the original YouTube and Instagram sharing. It's like I went to school at Belmont, and all these kids become interns at all the agencies here in town, and they're the ones that are going to the shows, and they're feeding these bands to all of these agents who have been resting on their laurels because they got 5 or 6 big acts that they've been taking care of for the last 20, 30 years. And then those hungry assistants are like trying to prove themselves as well. So if you can get them sold on something, or if they're already sold on something, I mean,
it's like the artist Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the way that he couldn't get a deal, and the way that his team worked it was they were at a record company, and one of the managers or somebody, a promotion guy for him, stayed in the record label elevator and rode the elevator up and down all day. And when people would come in, he would just talk about Youngblood.
Yeah.
And that's what generated his deal.
A real elevator pitch.
A real
all-day elevator pitch.
A real elevator pitch.
You got 10 floors to try and sell this guy.
He did it all day.
Can we get him a building with 20?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Did the record company ever give a reason why they didn't sign him immediately?
Who?
Like Youngblood.
I mean,
proof of concept, you gotta just see something from him first,
Yeah. It's all madness, man.
So I guess the next place I want to go is, were you already in kind of developing clubs before the Eighth Room, or like
No.
where did that come from?
It came from understanding the history of the Douglas Corner,
because you used to go there.
Yeah. I mean, like Tony Brown, one of my heroes, my mentor, signed Trisha Yearwood in that club. Blake,
and what was he like? Like, I mean, as a person.
I mean, Tony's like, he's my man. He's a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
He tells you exactly how it is, and there's no filter. And Tony's probably one of the greatest at understanding his character and his brand.
And what is his brand?
It's fucking hit making.
Yeah.
Oh. We're going for the bleachers.
It's I mean, Tony Brown is the undisputed greatest record producer in country music history. Nobody will ever beat his record.
Well, wow. Well, what a tutelage.
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Country Music Hall of Fame. Nobody will ever beat his records. 500 number ones.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You'll never beat his record.
Who got the most of those 500?
George Strait.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stop loving
That's a
her
good get.
today.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you just, one thing that Tony taught me was, if you're going to go into something, you really have to, you have to build your brand. People have to believe you. They have to understand, like, when you walk in, you're important, and a lot of that is image.
Yeah.
A lot of it's image. It's how you walk into a room and how you look when you walk into that room. Like, Tony Brown always looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
He always looks like a hit music producer. That's his look.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely taught me the importance of image.
Yeah.
And what that means.
All right, so now that you've got a foot in both sides when it comes to owning a room, working in music, and now, you have to, I'm sure you have managers that take care of the day-to-day of, like, liquor orders and everything like that, but we're seeing more and more musicians and, actors, actresses and stuff get into that liquor world. And going back to the nuts and bolts that we were talking about Kells, do you like these partnerships? Do you think that they're beneficial? Do you think that that's getting saturated, or, like, what do you think of those partnerships?
What are we
Like
referring
Post Malone and Bud Light.
Yeah.
They're like synonymous at this point. Right?
Listen, I think that we don't have enough of it right
Okay.
now. I think that
Really?
we're lacking that, because when I think of Jack Daniels, I think of Jimmy Page,
Yeah.
Oh.
or I think of Slash.
Yeah.
I don't think of Jack Daniels.
Nice shirt,
Or the
Carson.
bassist of Van Halen, because he was always playing
Right.
like Jack bass.
That's
Yeah.
what I think of rock and roll as synonymous with alcohol brands. It's
Yeah.
like, there was the brand Uncle Nearest. Those guys were in, and they were talking to me about, like, marketing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, if you take all of this young rock scene that's happening, like, in Nashville right now, and you take some of your marketing money and you give them a little bit of money, pay for a video, $500, whatever, right? Give them your liquor, and start photographing these young kids drinking your bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you're gonna change the game over time. Nobody fucking listens to me.
Well,
But-
that's why we gathered you here today, because
Yeah,
we did want to listen to
we're
you today.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that, liquor, there's an $800 billion loss over the past 4 years in liquor. It's because they have a marketing problem.
Yeah. Well, no, I've talked to many. I remember sitting.
It's not that people aren't drinking. It's that you're not marketing the right way to people.
I was talking to these distributors from Florida, and they were like, my father's one of these people that's like, just fix it. Right? That's how I was raised. Or like, and even other guys that I've, like, when I was in base school, the guy motherfucker didn't want to hear me bitch about it.
Yeah.
But you just fucking fix it. Like, you got a problem, fix it. And I remember sitting with these two ladies who were like reps or distributor reps from Florida. I don't know. I can't remember why they were here. And they were just like, oh my gosh, year over year, people are drinking less. And I was just like, that haven't even dawned on me. I'm just trying to fucking do something. Because my dad always told me, you don't sell fucking booze. You sell a good fucking time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, how you do that is you attach people that are a good fucking time to your fucking booze.
Well, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, it was Jack Daniels, because every rock star that I saw pictures of, they had a bottle of Jack Daniels.
the Ace of
You know what's
Spades.
crazy? I went to Lemmy's apartment before he died.
Oh, wow.
And my buddy Rachel Ryan again, she was friends with Lemmy. We were at the Rainbow, and we shut the Rainbow down. Lemmy lived basically next door. So we walked over to his place, and we're hanging out, and Lemmy's like, oh, can I get you a drink? And I was like, I'll have whatever you're having. And he popped a cap on a bottle of Jack Daniels and handed that to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I had. I was holding a fifth of Jack Daniels.
And that's what I'll be having.
That's what I was having. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. We haven't even said hi to Patrick.
Yeah, so
Patrick's our resident genius.
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
Patrick. So the now the last thing I wanted to get into, and I think Patrick and Carson are perfect, is you wanted to talk about your happy hour. I don't really get political, like it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But I want to know more about how you got y'all's relationship at the club, because I'm all about relationships at my club. So like I want to hear about you guys. We'll start with you, Carson.
So yeah, no, I met Jason for the first time we have a mutual friend that does cigar nights, like I think every third Thursday at the Standard. Mm-hmm. And so I met Jason.
Oh, we talked about the Standard.
Yes, we did.
I'm not going to bring that up. Someone almost went to jail that I know at the Standard. Anyway, but he's not related to Carson at all. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's where I met Jason, was at the Standard, and then it just got plugged in there.
Oh, really? So you go to the Standard, Jason?
Not often, but I've been there a few times. My wife doesn't allow me to go there anymore because there's so much cigar smoke that I'm not allowed to come in my house with clothes on.
My first request
not
was,
a bad thing.
Did I request your wife to come to the show? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, she doesn't do anything online. No cameras.
Yeah. Oh, you got to respect that. You do. Because there's, you're either all in PR or you're not.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. So and you've been with, how long have you been with your wife? Do you want to talk about that at all?
20 years on the 25th of this month.
So would it isn't like did you pull too many long nights over there?
No. It's just like at the Standard.
Yeah.
No, it was the cigar. Like there's no.
Oh, the smoke. Yeah. So I know a lot about that because a lot of male customers have to wash their clothes once they leave. Back in the day,
you can't even wash it out.
Which
it's
actually,
it's so thick in there, man. It doesn't come out.
Did you come in the Villager back in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, do you have a Villager story?
Not that I can remember.
The classic. I think it was JP's first story was first excuse for the story was the same exact thing. He was like, I
got stories here. I just don't remember them.
Joe Mullins was there, and
oh yeah.
How long have you been coming here?
I went to Vanderbilt, so
yeah.
long time. But it's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So get into that. You went to Vanderbilt?
I did. Yes. Eventually, I didn't get in the first time.
Oh wow! Well, you're persistent, and that's what matters.
When I was in high school, I had a music blog and a music tech site, and I went to shows and Warped Tour basically all of the time. So I had like a crap GPA, and then I busted my ass in business school for a year, and I wrote a Mac app that went viral.
Yep.
Whoa!
That's
wait.
That's when I met Patrick. When he was on that.
I'm going to set him up. Patrick is our resident genius.
So do you do all a bunch of the computer work for the show?
Some of it, yeah. So I built the counter timer that apparently doesn't work today.
The timer didn't work.
Happens.
Can we add Patrick's name to that list?
Yeah, there you go. And then we've also got a partner called Before the Data who pulls analytics on all our artists. So we've kind of woven that into the whole show, which is cool.
Yeah.
And so what year did you go to Vandy? Sorry, JP.
I graduated in 2012.
Okay, go ahead.
And then how did you guys connect?
So I went to the 8th Room one of the first days it opened, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome. Jason's fucking awesome." Went home. I had a signed copy of the Studio 54 book from Ian Schrager, and I was like, "This place reminds me of this vibe. I think you should have this."
Nice.
And so I brought it to him.
I still have that. It's great.
Yeah.
It's at the club.
Y'all do you do like a golden hour or something like that?
Yeah, it's just happy hour. Yeah. It's every day. It's $5 martinis and there's caviar. There's all kind of
caviar. Man, I've had caviar. Is great.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, I mean,
I used to date a Russian girl. I love caviar.
Caviar bumps.
Like, because you were talking about the history. Let's get back to like the 8th Room, the history of Douglas Corner.
Yeah.
And I mean,
why I bought it?
Yeah, because was that spontaneous? Because I saw something where you said that you were out of the country working on clubs before you moved to back to Nashville.
Yeah, I was
or working in clubs or whatever.
I was in China.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine who created DJI, the drone company. He sold his seat or his shares. And, he's multi-billionaire. And he just had this crazy idea of he wanted to create an artist, or he wanted to create a record company. He was working with a company out of Beijing, and they wanted to understand American A&R or artist development.
Oh wow, that's
And
cool.
so they brought me out there. I was working on that with them, and then he opened. I helped him open 3 clubs in Shanghai and 2 in Shenzhen. And it was weird, man, because the way that we built clubs there was you built them first on like in the metaverse, and because it's, I don't know, China's weird, you know? It's like people go into the metaverse and
So Patrick, do you have anything to say about the metaverse? You're jonesing over there.
Well, I'm just. Can you say more? Like, what do you mean metaverse? Not like Horizon worlds, like the 3D worlds, or is that what you mean?
yeah, like, you know, like they're avatars and they go in places, and that's how
So
they
are they digital,
they have
digital
avatars?
nightclubs or?
Yeah, so we built digital nightclubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And then once those became populated and popular, then we went in and we built the physical nightclubs.
What platform were those on?
I have no idea.
That's super wild. I've never heard of anybody testing the waters with a digital nightclub before.
So Spielberg was like he was plagiarizing, but shit was already going on.
You can still
the
smoke.
Oasis.
You can still smoke in the Digital Villager, by the way.
I bet you can.
We have a digital villager.
Yeah, so you know, I heard about actually another bar I was hearing about people doing like after hours smoking sessions, like with just the regulars. Anyway, I'm not gonna out myself. But the I still smoke in the bar quite a bit. But yeah, it's so how's it? What do you think is fascinating about running a bar? Like, or I mean, even throwing it back to you guys, what do you think is fascinating about being a regular at that bar? You know, how is it different? How is that experience there at the 8th Room different from any other place? Because all these clubs are just so different. Like there's a unique. Like, cause like, I mean, even this, you know, it's like I started doing a podcast and I was like, hey, we should have Hollis on, and then all of a sudden it's like he comes up with, and I've seen this, it's like viral, you know, and he comes up with this show that's like so the epitome of something cool to do in that space, right? And it's like, and he did it, you know, you got Patrick on, and then you know, and Carson's the liaison between the two of us. What is the glue of the 8th Room? Like, what is it that keeps all you guys like humming together?
Man, for me, it's the clientele, you know. It's like you just never know. I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you don't know somebody in here, just go introduce yourself, because you never know who they are.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, like on any given night, it's like the editor of Rolling Stone magazine, or it's this person. It's like you never know who's gonna be in there.
Yeah,
and
I saw something interesting you said online was like you and your wife agreed to just say yes to everything when you came to town.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna just meet people and like. And that's a real. I think that's a vibe. I do that. It's contagious there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, well, it's the same here. You know, it's like who you meet, and like I come here, like, you know, I don't
Jason likes gumbo. How about some gumbo,
man? Listen, I'm gonna give you a plug, because this is your mom makes the best gumbo. There is not a place in Nashville, and I've tried all of them. There's not a place that beats the gumbo here. This is, I get cravings, and my wife knows. She's like, just go.
Everybody, King Hollis has entered the room to eat gumbo.
That's right. She's like, just go to Villager and get some gumbo.
Yeah, need that fix. Need that Baton Rouge fix.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. I just think it's, you know, like. For me, I don't go out a ton anymore, but when I do, it's like I want something like this is what I come to places like this. You know, like my place was always the Broadway Brew House down in Midtown. Yeah. I lived next door to that for a while. I was there when it was like Major Brew, and then you know, they turned it into the Broadway Brew House, and that was kind of my kicking ground for a while. I came here, so I tend to like dark, dingy bars when I'm out, because when I'm out, I'm usually with somebody that I want to hang out with, and I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. You know, I just want to come in. I want to just.
So what brought you to the 8th Room?
I guess. Well,
you said you met Jason at the Standard,
right?
And then you go to happy hour, and you guys can, if you guys want to talk about like whatever you want to talk about right now.
I'm gonna go pee, but I'm gonna let Carson and Patrick talk about me.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. So what is Hollis like as a host? That's a good point.
He's fantastic. When I first walked into the 8th Room, I got this vibe of like this screams LA, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a nightclub like type of vibe, and if that's what you're looking for in the eighth room, that's exactly what you need to go for. The purpose of the eighth room is to provide a civil space for community and also for in the music space as well.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah. And so the do you also go to the happy hour, Patrick? Or you
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to the eighth room a lot. Eighth room is cool because on any given day you're literally surrounded by absolute rock and roll legends.
Yeah.
And they look like rock and roll
I was
legends.
going to plug that too, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up because, like, for me, like,
Yeah.
I went to an event.
Yeah, Hollis actually brings people that are kind of like larger than life to the venue.
Yeah.
Packed, like wall to wall. Every person in that room has a story, a look, a vibe, and something to say, which is very cool.
Yeah.
I just like I like characters.
It is a room full
Well,
of
that's what you
characters.
said. A&R is character building.
I like
right?
characters, man. It's just like this show. It's like the reason we're doing the show is like to find characters.
So we got to get out of here and open a bar, guys. I've actually kind of like dug into my brother's shift too much. Everybody say hey to Toby.
Hey,
Toby.
Toby is wearing a badass coffee shirt. I have a badass coffee hat. They're actually a badass coffee shop down the street. So is there anything last you guys would like to plug at all? Anything?
I was going to plug one of the events that Hollis did.
Yeah,
which
sure.
is awesome. So you invited the members of Skid Row for a listening party not too long ago. You want to talk about a little bit about that and how that came together?
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Rachel called me, and Rachel Boland from Skid Row called me and said, we're launching I guess a live CD, and they came in. I think the coolest thing though was Rachel Boland's wedding party that we did at the eighth room, and all of Skid Row was there, but it was the guests that they brought up. It was like watching Skid Row back in the late 80s with all these superstar guests, which was mental. That was cool. I mean, the night Queen played was cool. Shinedown opened the club, which was really cool. It's just, you never know. You just never know what's going to happen there. You just got to kind of show up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's
you
fun,
gotta
though, man.
Show up on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's right.
for the hook
Listen,
sections. It's really electric.
That's batshit crazy, though. You want to come watch a train wreck. That's the show.
Look away.
You can't look away. I'm very excited for everybody's for all the clips and everything to start coming out because, it's different. It's like our whole thing is like, let's just bring I want to have fun in Nashville. I don't want everything to be so serious and taken like, oh, you have to do it this way or otherwise it's
A lot of slogan I see you say you don't have to ask permission.
no permission.
Yeah, no permission.
Listen, man, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm 53. I've made it this long. I've survived a 30-year career in the music business. I've done everything that I possibly have wanted to do. I've worked with everybody I've wanted to work with, and I've done the grind. I walk the walk and talk the talk. Meaning I've put my hours in, and I've done it. I've done things that people deem impossible to do, and at this point I just want to have fun, and I want to shine a light on people. If we find somebody good, great.
Do you have any names that you want to throw out there that you were impressed with so far?
I think that Alex Charles, I was super impressed with. This kid, I don't know.
Great story, incredible talent. He got up there, he rocked a saxophone.
He rocked the saxophone.
Incredible vocalist.
It's wild. He was bullied his whole life. He's a different looking kid. Everybody called him Alien Boy, and I think he just channeled all of that stuff. So for me, I'm not looking any longer for I'm looking for the greatest artist in the world. Because I know what that entails. I know what you have to deal with that.
Yeah, we were making a show.
This is a show, and I just want to have fun, and I want to find characters. I want to find guys that I keep coming back and give one of these things to, and just keep them coming back and shine a light on them. And again, it's for me, it's like I want to have fun. That's where I'm at in my life. Is like if it's not fun and I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it.
If it's not fun, it doesn't sell. You know,
yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
My spin on that was always like if it's not funny, but like anyway. So
well, you look at like the music business and like what you have to do to stay in the grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's really mental. You
Yeah.
know, it's mental. And you know, I'm looking back at like a 30-year career. Like I can imagine like right now starting with, you know, now you have to be an expert marketer. You have to be a social media like junkie. You have to know how to film. You have to know how to do everything on top of going back and practicing your craft. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was starting out as a producer and artist development guy, I would go into like a garage or a rehearsal room or a basement, and I would basically live with a band, and I would sit with a notebook or a legal pad. I always use legal pads, and I would start making notes of editing points and how to make things better, and like those days are just gone.
It's nonstop.
You know, you have to know all of these things, and so I really applaud all these young artists that are out doing what they do, because it's really insane, man. The level of work and the level of output that you have to have now is mental. Yeah. But you know, like a show like what I'm doing right now, it's like I look at it all. I'm going like, well, if these guys over here, they're doing this show and they're posting, you know, once a day, I'm going to post 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go beat them.
Yeah, the competition.
So, yeah, that's my mentality is like, I love competition. You know, like I don't look at like our bar. Like we're not competition. This is like we're in the same space, you know. I love coming here just as much as I love being at my place. But when you're looking at like different shows and things like that, I you know, the competitive aspect.
Well, it's kind of like,
out.
and I'm going to wrap this up real quick, but what I've noticed is like, at least in running a club or running a bar, things come into like something new comes in, and then you're like, all right, I have to sharpen this tool as sharp as it will get before I get to another tool. You know what I mean? And like you really, so now you're on this thing, and it's like we got to make this thing. We got to create this javelin so I can hand it to this guy over here, and he can throw it and hit something
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up because I have to open a bar, guys, and
use the breaks.
And it's been so great to have Mr. Hollis on the show.
Yeah, man.
I think you reached out to me about coming on. Like, what was that? Like a few months ago, and I was like, of course I'll have you on. Of course we'll have Hollis on. And all right, guys, if you're tuning in and seeing this, the hook sessions are at the 8th Room on Tuesdays. What time of the night does that?
Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 8:15. I would say get there early because it gets packed. It's fucking crazy.
How do they get tickets?
Right now, it's a free show.
Oh, okay, cool.
So come on in, yeah. And I have to plug again your mom's gumbo.
Eat Mom's Gumbo.
This is the only place. This is the only place in Nashville for gumbo, in my opinion, and the best Guinness in town.
There we go.
Give it up for Jesse High Fashion Nordstrom over here.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Carson.
Bad part of the conversation.
Jason, the producer extraordinaire, Jason Hollis, and owner of the 8th Room, and also his co-host to his show, Hook Sessions, Patrick, and what's your last name?
Widen.
Widen, that's right. So
our resident genius.
Yes, the resident. Dude, I can't wait. That's the only thing I regret about the show so far is that we didn't get into like the app you created. And do it real quick. Come on.
Sure. So when I was in college, I would often work from Starbucks, and so if you got a good spot in like a popular, coffee shop in town, you had to go to the bathroom at some point. I tapped into the old hard drive sensors. That old hard drives have mechanical parts, so they had like a fail sensor, so that if you moved it real quick. Anyway, I tapped into that, so I sounded an alarm if somebody tried to steal your laptop while you're going to the bathroom.
Wow.
And then it would start taking pictures of the person and like live tweet them. Whoa. It was called Lockdown. So there's like all these YouTube videos of these alarms going off in coffee shops all over the world. I think went super viral.
Look that up on YouTube.
That's crazy.
People. We're gonna put that here.
Hey, this is Lockdown anti-theft system on my MacBook Air. That's showing that it's armed. Now it's off. Let's go up here and tone the volume down a little. And we'll arm it. As you can see, that's what it does, and there's this little green light right up here because my camera took a picture.
All right, so thank you for tuning in to Villager People. Cue that exit music.
Yeah. There we go.
So if you're up in Nashville and you see the Village Bar, stop and see if Charlie's there. Tell him who you are, and listen to his wisdom, and listen to his stories, and listen to his hopes and dreams, his downfalls and his glories.